Technology should be our servant, not our master. Let AI assist our worship, but never replace our sincerity. Imagine waking up for morning prayer, and instead of checking a traditional prayer timetable, your AI assistant wakes you up at the perfect time based on your sleep cycle. It reminds you of your du'as, corrects your Quran recitation in real time, and even tracks your fast to ensure you stay healthy during Ramadan. Sounds futuristic? It's happening right now. But should we embrace this technology, or is it interfering with our spiritual connection? Let's dive deep into how AI is transforming the way Muslims pray and fast. Artificial intelligence is changing everything, from how we work to how we interact with the world, and now it's even shaping our religious practices. AI-powered prayer apps, smart fasting assistants, and virtual Islamic scholars are making worship more accessible than ever. But this raises an important question. Is AI enhancing our faith, or are we becoming too dependent on technology for spirituality? In this video, we'll explore the benefits, risks, and the Islamic perspective on AI in our religious lives. For centuries, worship in Islam has been deeply personal, rooted in effort, devotion, and sincerity. The way we pray, fast, and seek religious guidance has always been a reflection of our inner faith. Muslims have historically turned to scholars for knowledge, relied on their memory for Quranic recitation, and used self-discipline to fulfill religious duties like salah and fasting. But today, artificial intelligence is changing that. AI-powered prayer apps, Quran recitation assistants, and automated fatwa generators are making worship more accessible and convenient than ever before. While these advancements may seem beneficial, they force us to ask an important question. Are we relying too much on technology to guide our faith? Are these AI-driven tools enhancing our spirituality, or are they subtly weakening the sincerity and personal effort required in worship? Let's take a deep dive into this issue by examining how AI is altering the way we pray, seek knowledge, and connect with Allah. Islam places great emphasis on the effort behind every act of worship. Our sincerity, struggles, and sacrifices are what make our worship meaningful. Prayer, salah, requires effort. Getting up for far when you're tired, standing in long tearaway prayers during Ramadan, and focusing despite distractions. Fasting, psalm, tests patience. Enduring hunger and thirst for the sake of Allah, even when no one is watching. Seeking religious guidance requires sincerity, turning to scholars, studying Islamic texts, and contemplating spiritual matters. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, said, "The most beloved deeds of Allah are those that are consistent, even if they are small." Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith reminds us that the real value of worship is not in its automation, but in the human effort behind it. Worship is supposed to be a conscious act, a moment where we pause, reflect, and strengthen our bond with our Creator. But now, AI is stepping in to assist us. And while that may seem helpful, does it risk turning worship into a mindless routine rather than a spiritual effort? To truly understand the impact of AI on worship, let's break down how it's affecting key areas of Islamic practice. Number 1, are AI-powered Quran apps replacing human teachers? Traditionally, learning the Quran required dedication and interaction with a human teacher carry. A teacher doesn't just correct mistakes. They teach the soul of recitation, the emotions behind the words, and the sincerity of delivering each verse. But now, AI-powered Quran apps like Tartil and Quran Companion analyze recitation and provide instant corrections. They use deep learning to detect pronunciation errors and even suggest improvements in tajweed. This sounds like an amazing advancement, but it raises concerns. Are people replacing real teachers with AI? Does AI understand the emotional depth of the Quran like a human teacher does? Can an AI app truly capture the sincerity of a student striving to perfect their recitation? The Quran is not just words. It is a divine message meant to be learned with humility and heart. The Prophet, PBUH, himself learned the Quran from Angel Jibril A.S., showing us the importance of human connection in religious learning. If we start relying solely on AI, do we risk losing that sacred teacher-student relationship that has been part of Islamic learning for centuries? Number 2, AI and salah, mindfulness or mindlessness. Salah is not just about physical movements. It is about presence of heart and mind. Many Muslims today use prayer apps that send reminders, track missed prayers, and even generate personalized dua lists. Some advanced AI apps even analyze movement patterns to check if you're praying correctly. While these tools can be helpful, they also create a dangerous dependency. When a person prays because an app reminded them, is their intention still pure? If AI tracks our prayers for us, are we losing the personal responsibility of maintaining our salah? What happens when someone forgets their phone and suddenly loses their entire sense of discipline? Salah is meant to be an act of mindfulness, a moment where we detach from the world and connect with Allah directly. If AI takes over this responsibility, do we risk turning salah into a robotic habit rather than a conscious act of devotion? The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, emphasized sincerity in prayer. Pray as if you see Allah, and if you cannot see Him, know that He sees you. Sahih al-Bukhari. This level of spiritual awareness cannot be achieved through AI. It requires effort, struggle, and personal commitment. If AI makes prayer too convenient, does it weaken our connection with Allah? Number 3, are AI-generated fatwas instant answers, but at what cost? One of the biggest changes in Islamic practice is the rise of AI-generated fatwas. Instead of going to a scholar, people are now turning to AI chatbots to get religious rulings in seconds. This raises serious concerns. Can AI truly understand the complexities of Islamic rulings? Does AI consider context, culture, and human emotions when giving answers? Are we prioritizing speed over accuracy in religious matters? Number 4, smart fasting assistants IS focusing on health or spirituality. Fasting in Ramadan is an act of worship that teaches self-control, patience, and reliance on Allah, but AI-powered fasting assistants now track calorie intake and hydration levels, optimal suhoor and iftar times based on metabolism, health risks, and personalized fasting schedules. While these tools can be useful, do they shift the focus away from the spiritual aspect of fasting? Fasting is about trust in Allah, not just health optimization. The struggle of fasting is part of the reward. Ramadan is a test of patience, not a fitness program. The Prophet, PBUH, said, "Whoever fasts Ramadan with faith and seeking reward, all his past sins will be forgiven." Sahih al-Bukhari. This shows that fasting is about faith and sincerity, not just physical health. If AI makes fasting too comfortable, are we still experiencing the test of faith that Ramadan is meant to bring? A scholar doesn't just give rulings. They guide people with wisdom, experience, and understanding. They ask follow-up questions, consider circumstances, and ensure clarity. AI, on the other hand, provides generic answers based on data. Imagine someone struggle with a serious life issue, a family dispute, financial hardship, or spiritual crisis. Will an AI-generated fatwa give them the same level of understanding as a real scholar? Islamic knowledge is not just information. It is a legacy passed down by generations of scholars who lived, studied, and experienced faith deeply. If we start trusting AI over human scholars, are we disconnecting from the true sources of wisdom in Islam? Here's the big question. Is AI a tool for enhancing our worship, or are we at risk of replacing sincerity with convenience? Technology has always played a role in how we practice Islam. The printing press made Quranic knowledge more accessible. Islamic apps now help millions track prayer times and read the Quran. AI is simply the next step in this technological evolution. But unlike past innovations, AI doesn't just provide information. It makes decisions for us. It reminds us to pray, corrects our Quranic recitation, suggests religious rulings, and even monitors our fasting habits. At what point do we stop relying on our own efforts and start letting AI take over our spiritual responsibilities? Let's explore this delicate balance in depth, the balance between benefit and over-reliance. Islam is a religion of balance. Allah created us with both intellect and free will, giving us the ability to use tools wisely while ensuring that our hearts remain connected to Him. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, said, "Actions are judged by intentions." Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith highlights a key principle. Technology is neither good nor bad. It depends on how we use it. If AI helps us pray better, fast healthier, and gain more knowledge, then it's a blessing. If AI weakens our sincerity, makes us dependent, and turns worship into routine automation, then it becomes a distraction. So, where do we draw the line between using AI as a tool versus letting it control our worship? The rapid rise of artificial intelligence is changing every aspect of human life, including how Muslims engage with their faith. From AI-powered prayer apps to automated Quran recitations, smart fasting assistants, and even AI-generated religious rulings, the intersection of technology and worship is closer than ever before. But as we move forward, the real question is not whether AI is good or bad. It's how we choose to use it. Islam has always embraced beneficial advancements while holding firm to its core spiritual values. The key is not to reject AI out of fear, but to ensure that it serves our faith rather than weakens it. Let's take a deep look at what AI means for the future of Islam and how we, as Muslims, can navigate this new era responsibly and wisely. To understand how AI fits into Islam's future, we need to first look at the past. Islam is not a religion that fears progress. Rather, it has a long history of embracing beneficial innovations while ensuring they align with faith. Here are some examples of how technology has shaped Islamic practice throughout history. 1. The printing press and Quran distribution. Before the printing press, the Quran was copied by hand, limiting access to only those who could afford manuscripts. When printing technology emerged, scholars debated its permissibility. Some feared errors in Quranic text, while others saw the potential for mass education. Eventually, the printing press became a blessing for Muslims worldwide, making the Quran more accessible than ever. 2. The radio and Islamic learning. When radios became widespread, scholars debated whether Islamic lectures and Quran recitations could be broadcast. Today, radio stations dedicated to Islamic education are heard in millions of homes, spreading knowledge to those who may never have access to traditional scholars. 3. Smartphones and digital Islamic apps. In the past, Muslims relied on physical calendars and the call to prayer from mosques to know salah times. Today, apps instantly notify us of prayer times, translate the Quran, and provide access to thousands of scholarly resources. Each of these technological shifts was met with both skepticism and excitement. Some feared that new technology would weaken faith, while others saw a potential to strengthen Islamic practice. So, where does AI fit into this historical pattern? Just like previous innovations, AI can be a tool for immense benefit, but only if used with wisdom. AI is different from previous technologies because it doesn't just provide information, it makes decisions for us. This raises a fundamental question. If AI makes worship easier, does it strengthen our connection with Allah, or does it make us spiritually lazy? Let's examine the two ways AI can shape the future of Islamic worship. There is no doubt that AI has the potential to enhance the way we practice Islam. AI can translate and explain the Quran in multiple languages, making it easier for non-Arabic speakers to understand the message of Islam. AI-powered chatbots can answer basic Islamic questions instantly, guiding new Muslims or those seeking knowledge. AI-driven Quran recitation apps can correct pronunciation and tajweed mistakes, helping people perfect their recitation. AI reminders can encourage consistency in salah, fasting, and daily du'as. AI fasting assistants can suggest nutritious suhoor and iftar meals, ensuring Muslims maintain energy while fasting. AI-powered health tracking can help diabetics and those with medical conditions observe Ramadan safely. AI-powered tutors can make learning hadith, fiqh, and tafsir more interactive and engaging. Virtual reality combined with AI can bring Islamic history to life, allowing students to experience Mecca during the time of the Prophet, PBUH. Clearly, AI offers unprecedented advantages that can strengthen the practice of Islam. But there's another side to this technology that requires caution. While AI can enhance worship, it also presents the risk of weakening sincerity and human effort, the risk of laziness in worship. If AI reminds us to pray every time, are we building self-discipline or just relying on notifications? If an AI-generated voice recites Quran for us, are we truly engaging with the words of Allah or just passively listening? The risk of losing spiritual connection. Prayer and fasting require struggle and effort. That's what makes them acts of worship. If AI removes the struggle, does it weaken our spiritual growth? If AI personalizes every aspect of worship, are we still approaching Islam as a way of life, or are we treating it like an automated checklist? The risk of misinformation and misguided religious rulings. AI-generated fatwas might provide instant answers, but do they understand human emotion, personal struggles, and unique contexts? Islamic jurisprudence requires wisdom, not just data processing. AI lacks the spiritual and ethical reasoning that scholars possess. The risk of AI dictating religious practices. What happens when AI starts modifying religious rulings based on trends? If AI suggests shorter fasting hours based on health data, will people start following AI over Islamic teachings? These risks highlight an important reality. AI must be used with mindfulness and responsibility. Otherwise, we may lose the human essence of worship. As Muslims, we need clear guidelines on how to use AI responsibly without compromising our faith. Use AI to enhance knowledge, but don't let it replace studying from scholars. Use AI to correct mistakes in Quran recitation, but don't rely on it to recite for you. Use AI for prayer reminders, but build a habit of praying without needing notifications. Always ask yourself, is AI helping me get closer to Allah or making me dependent? Struggle is part of worship. If AI removes that struggle, it may be weakening your sincerity. If AI disappears tomorrow, your faith and worship should remain unchanged. Technology should serve you, but sincerity must come from within. AI can provide basic knowledge, but it cannot issue fatwas with the same wisdom and understanding as scholars. Always verify AI-generated religious information with authentic scholars and sources. The Quran and Sunnah should always be the foundation of decision-making, not AI algorithms. AI must be used ethically and Islamically, ensuring it does not promote misinformation, distractions, or laziness in worship. Artificial intelligence is not a threat to Islam. It is a test. Will we use AI to strengthen our faith, or will we allow it to weaken our sincerity? Islam has always adapted to change while preserving core beliefs. AI is no different. If used responsibly, AI can enhance Islamic education, improve worship, and help Muslims worldwide connect more deeply with their faith. But if misused, it can weaken sincerity, encourage laziness, and remove the human essence from worship. The choice is ours. Technology should assist our worship, but never replace our sincerity. As AI continues to evolve, let's embrace it with wisdom, use it with responsibility, and always ensure that our faith remains rooted in sincerity, effort, and devotion to Allah. So, what do you think? Is AI helping or hurting our spiritual connection? Let's discuss in the comments. If you found this discussion valuable, subscribe for more insights on AI and Islam.